Do 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 do. All right, I think we are good to go. I got this plan. All right, well, clearly that's working. All right, so I'll wait a little bit, see how many more people we can get. Hopefully we'll be able to get a couple. Ooh, up in the test center here. It's pretty exciting. I know I'm looking forward to this. I messed around a little bit yesterday with Magneto, but obviously there's a lot more stuff to try. See, I got disconnected. Not too surprising. It is the test center after all. But we get to see the cool new login screen where we have the Avengers Tower, so that's pretty exciting. And we're back. And there's a couple other people. And you prestige. Of course. You have to prestige. Okay, so give me. I don't know why I'm even bothering with all this stuff. It is test center and it doesn't affect anything else. Mostly I'm just waiting to see if we can get some more people here. Let me refresh. I am watching the chat so I can see if anybody else cares to show up and ask questions or whatever. I am paying attention to it, so no worries. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Hey, technically I can get rid of everything. Okay. Oh, bye dog. The viewer list isn't working. It might be because nobody's there. Oh well. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Huh. Let me take a look here. Everything should be live. This is very confusing. Let's leave this. Weird. Says it's working. Should be working. There we go. We got a couple people at least. I do apologize for this. I don't know why it's not showing up correctly. But regardless, we are here to test out Magneto a little bit. And also there's a couple of other really cool things that I'm going to be taking a look at. First and foremost, we do have our newest one-shot here as well, which is the March to Axis. And I'll be trying that out in just a little bit. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and just mess around with Magneto in the test room. Now, please note, for those of you who aren't really familiar with the test center itself, I'm just going to pick random ones. It doesn't matter. For those of you who aren't familiar with the test center, it is broken. I actually just had a disconnect not too long ago. So yeah, it's definitely there are tweaks that need to be made. Obviously, the VFX might not be fully integrated, etc., etc. And incidentally, if these remain his synergies, that's pretty cool. We've got area power and then orb pickup radius, which is kind of neat. That can potentially be very helpful. So I'm going to go right on into it and hop into the SHIELD training room here so that we can test out Magneto. The vast majority of the work is done with him. See, I got disconnected. But it's okay, I can type fast. So the vast majority of the work for Magneto is done. The thing is that some of his VFX aren't working too well, and like right now his ultimate frankly kind of sucks. I really don't like it. And I know that a lot of other people don't. But these are his three power trees here. We've got Mingled Metal, Electromagnetism, and then Master of Magnetism. For whatever reason, we've got both Electro and Master of Magnetism. And incidentally, since this is the test center, obviously you can see I'm level 60. But I didn't play on the test center to level 60. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, if you go to the store, then you actually have a set balance of Gs that you receive for the store. And then if you go to specials, then you can see there's a bunch of random stuff that you can get. So like right here, you've got the level 60 orb potion or experience potion, so that you can just jump straight up to level 60. And then there's a bunch of random stuff here. So like, see, this is the DPS item box. I actually need one of these. And what this is it's just a standard set of gear that you can use to test everything. So you see the Savage Land and the Thor Earth X costumes are both 1, and then the Uncanny Fortune cards are also 1, just for testing purposes, so you can see how well they work and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's a neat system. I really like it. Ooh, Dr. Doom team up. I might get that just for fun. Either way, we will go right on ahead and get started. Let me pop open my official items here. So test DPS medallion. So you can see the test DPS medallion actually gives a whole bunch of really high values for crit rating, brutal rating, all that kind of stuff. And then we also just have the regular gear here as well. And the regular gear obviously is just to make certain that everything is standardized across all the people whenever you're doing testing. So we've got everything equipped. I'm not going to bother with artifacts or anything like that. So we're gonna start off. I'm gonna just put points into each one of these. I'm just gonna put 1 into each, because essentially we've got plus 20 to all powers. You can see everything is going up to 21 after I put in a single one. So this way we can, whatever, who cares. So what do we start with? We start off with the Scrap Shot, and then we also start with Wrecking Ball and the Ferromagnetic Blitz, and last but not least, the Indomitable. So the Indomitable is the power that everybody has, where you get the crowd control immunity, and it also has a pretty solid passive as well, which is pretty sweet. So the basic, the Scrap Shot, is essentially just shooting out little random heaps of metal, essentially, is all it is. I wonder if that's like a thing. Doesn't seem like it. But either way, one thing that I noticed with this is it actually tends to hone in on something. So it makes it much easier if you've got an actual target, and it spreads out just a little bit there, not too much. And then this is the other one that does that a lot more. So see, if we're standing over here, then it goes and hones in, and that is the Wrecking Ball. So large magnetically charged ball of scrap screening towards your enemies. So I assume the magnetic charge that this has is what allows it to hone in, but you can see it just hones over there. So that's pretty cool. And that is not a basic, that is a spirit spender. I don't believe that he has a boss killer power, but one thing that is very important to note, and one thing that was announced a decent while ago actually, is that all of his abilities, all of his damage are all energy. He does not have any physical, and I know some people are a little bit upset about that, because it's like, well, he's Magneto, and he takes a piece of metal and he throws it at you, and therefore it should be physical damage from that. But nothing is physical damage, not even the ultimate. And like I said earlier, I don't really like the ultimate right now. I hope that it gets some pretty massive alterations, just to be able to change it up and make sure it works a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going through these right now just to make certain that they are all energy damage. I know that it was said before, but I just wanted to make certain. And I'm just going to go tree by tree. So I'll start here with the Mangled Metal tree. So we've got Wrecking Ball and Scrap Shot. Those are the two that I've been using. This is the Scrap Shot, the basic that you start with. And it does a decent amount of damage. So you see it actually fires 3 separate projectiles that actually sort of spread out just a little bit, so it's kind of cool there. And then the Wrecking Ball is actually really cool and actually quite powerful, especially for a level 1 unlock. So you see, it actually hones in on whoever's around. I've got magic equipped, so I just got the little dude there. So we're gonna just move straight down the line here. We'll go Imprison, Shrapnel Volley, Wave of Shards, and then the Magnetic Attraction, and Superiority. So the Superiority, I'll start with that because this is just a toggle. And when you turn it on, then you do get this this cool little effect here. And I think that that is a really vital thing for Magneto, at least initially. And incidentally, the scrap sort of following you looks really cool as well. But one thing that's really cool about the superiority. This is one that does give everybody endurance. This is his little thing for all of the fellow people. And one other thing to note is that you get the debris orbs. So that's what those little things were. So that right there, that's imprison, which is actually a pretty sweet little attack there. And this one's actually neat. It gives you the bleed effect, and so see there's the little debris field there. So it's pretty nifty. Now, the bleed effect from the imprison actually gains more and more momentum. Well, so to speak, momentum. Obviously, he doesn't use momentum, but it actually has a passive effect for bleeding enemies. So you can see there it says generate a debris orb when you strike bleeding enemies. When you just has a passive effect, which is pretty awesome for that. And then the shrapnel volley here is you have the chance to spawn the debris orbs, and it's just like sort of the like little rapid fire thing here, which actually looks pretty awesome if you ask me. And I kind of like the way that it has all of the VFX coming and essentially going towards his hand and then being shot out. And you can see all of these little things are the individual debris that you can collect up. So that's the shrapnel volley there. That's pretty sweet. That I think that's probably designed mostly as the boss killer, because I mean it's a rate of fire of 12.2 per second at about 4,300. So that's pretty sweet. So the wave of shards. This is essentially just more of the large area effect version of the shrapnel volley there. But it's the same general principle. So it's just over a wider area. So there's the shrapnel volley, just a lot of focus fire. And then there's the crap. Now I can't remember what it is. The wave of shards, right there. And for if anybody's just joining, then do be aware that I am watching the chat. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, then just let me know. All right, so that's that, and then I still have Wrecking Ball attached to A there. But regardless, that's that, and then H, the magnetic attraction. This one's kind of cool. I don't think that it'll work while I'm in here, because it does have the effect of pulling in all the enemies. But that's what it looks like there. It looks really cool, obviously. So what I'm going to do is later on I will be going into the Red Skull area. So once I'm in Red Skull, then I'll show all of these powers basically in action, at least a little bit more, right? So that's the first part of this particular power tree. We ended with superiority. So I'm going to try out the Storm of Steel, which is pretty awesome. I really like that one. And Bid Farewell. All right. So first, the Bid Farewell. Look, I'm Luke Cage, essentially. So that's pretty much all it is. It's just the large object, throw it at bad guys, and you get more of these debris orbs that you can pick up to charge up here. And the idea behind the debris is, as you get higher and higher, then it fuels more of your powers. It's just a secondary resource. Just well, like any secondary resource, really. But regardless, the Bid Farewell, it's just very powerful, essentially, and just sort of the really big stun attack that it's got right there. So the Storm of Steel, this is kind of cool. This is the one that we all hate when we're fighting Magneto, where we get all this stuff going. If you ask me, it looks really cool, and I think it's very effective. One thing that's nice is, unlike Rogue's, which actually looks very similar to it, it's nice because this one does a bunch of damage and then it just stops. Whereas Rogue's animation is somewhat, if you ask me, somewhat pointlessly lengthened, where it just doesn't really do a whole lot else. So I'm personally not a huge fan of it. Oh, I killed the dummies. But yeah, I definitely like this particular tree. So that's the end of the mangled metal tree. As I said before, I'm going to move on to electromagnetism. Indomitable is the crowd control immunity, which is fine and dandy. And then we've got the distortion field, which I'll just put all these on here. I'll just bind them so that I've got them ready and waiting. All right, ba-bam. All right. So one thing to note is this very last one, magnetic eruption. You can see the damage is an additional 1% per 1% remaining of debris. So you see right now I've got 100 out of 100, and meaning that simply if you've got more, then good for you. You've got more, and so that's pretty much it. Not really much else for that one. But well, we've got the boomerang. That is the distortion field right there, and the idea is that whenever you have those little pieces of debris that are down on the ground, then that will actually collect them up. So let me get there's one right there. So we see we've got this little thing of debris. So if we send that over, then it should pick it up. It might be because I'm full, but regardless, it might not work exactly right now. So this power right here is the convergence power, which you can actually aim with the mouse here. But what that is just the random implosion. But the thing for this one is that it does give the weaken. So the weaken is pretty sweet, so you can definitely add that into rotations. It does have a decent power behind it as well, with the 14,000 as the base. Again, this is at rank 21, and with all of the DPS testing gear. So I am probably more powerful than one would expect typically. Then this is another one. The electromagnetic surge is another one that does additional damage for your remaining debris, however much you've got. But that's it right there. The idea is it's just big massive wave, and that's pretty much it. So I think that combining the electromagnetic surge along with the convergence is a really good way to start off combat. Mostly because, first off, the electromagnetic surge has such a cooldown that you would want to get it off early. And then the conversion has the weaken. So you have the slow and the weekend 1-2 hit right there. And then one of the other ones from electromagnetism, excuse me, is just the flight power. Ooh. Incidentally, he does look the coolest when he's flying because he just doesn't care. But obviously, not too much going on with it. So that's just what it looks like. It just looks really cool. And then the magnetic eruption is the one that looks like so many of the other powers. I did it a little while ago, where it's just sort of the little wave that goes forward. But it is very, very powerful. You saw the brutal for 600,000 right there, which is pretty sweet. All right. So that was the magnetic barrier, which is actually really cool because one of the really neat things about this is the projectile deflection. And I'm not certain, I haven't messed around with it too much to really see how it can function in combat, but it's pretty neat. And one thing that's really, really cool is the stun duration. The stun is actually irresistible. The bad guys cannot forego the stun, and in addition, it just stops all of the projectiles, regardless of what types they are. So I want to see it. I want to try it out just to take a look, see how it is. So I'm hoping that it'll look pretty cool. And incidentally, one thing to note is with this, the ferromagnetic charge. So you can see the ending energy damage down there says it activates if you have 25 or more debris. That's what the little psh at the end is. So if I actually go there, that little poof right there, that is that last little part right there. Okay, so that's the electromagnetism tree. Definitely some cool stuff. Obviously, the flight I'm not really that fond of, but one thing that's cool with the Indomitable is that you do get a debris per second, which is pretty neat and definitely very good for the later powers because they do a lot more damage. And one thing that's very important is most of these, the Master of Magnetism, this is where you're actually spending a decent amount of your debris. Up until this point, none of the debris has really been spent, but here, instead of costing spirit, a lot of these cost debris instead. So we'll start with, again, I'll just toss all of these onto my mouse here. All right. So just start from the front here. Compressed shrapnel. So again, this is another stun one, and keep in mind these are I'm going to go ahead and reset my my test center here, so I can get the dummies back. Didn't let me. Well, oh well, whatever. So Again, starting not meat grinder, but compressed shrapnel. Again, this does cost debris, but it does stun the enemies, which is pretty cool. And I think this is the thing where we saw in was it X2 when he escaped from the prison? You see the little balls there. But you see, I just depleted the entirety of my debris, and now it's coming back because of the passive. So here's what we're gonna do. Since I got this, we will go ahead and take the distortion field. Now replace that. So since all those the debris pieces are coming out now, if I use the distortion field, then it'll pick them up for me if they fall farther away. Doesn't look like they will though. All right. So next is the meat grinder, which is pretty interesting here, and actually looks somewhat similar to the signature, but obviously it's a stationary area of effect. It is not a movable one, unlike the signature ability. But we can see here the damage is actually pretty good, 11,000 twice per second, and it lasts for 8 seconds. And it's a pretty decent radius too, but it does cost quite a bit of debris. So here we go. So get some there, and then if I use this, then it brings them back to me. Alright, so that was the meat grinder with the little spike impale. This is fairly similar to the imprison power, but it just looks a lot cooler, and it's essentially it's designed primarily for just one person, one bad guy or whatever. The thing I mean, it is very strong, obviously. It's very powerful, and this would probably be good as a boss killer, or at least a boss attacker. But the thing is, it doesn't have a stun, it doesn't have a weaken, it doesn't have anything except high damage. So I don't know exactly how useful it would be in terms of utility, but maybe. Who knows, right? Last thing, the magnetic aim is pretty cool, but one thing to note is that this is actually another of the toggles, like where'd it go? This one, superiority. So when this is turned on, then it literally just shoots the debris out. So incidentally, one thing that you can potentially do if you're not using much of the are they like dead? They might be. One thing is that if you're not using the Master of Magnetism tree very much, you could potentially just use this one, just this toggle, because then you would constantly be earning debris from the other abilities, because most of the other abilities have some kind of debris gathering capability. I'm going to go with the other shrapnel volley because that one was really good for it. But either way, it's a very powerful tool to have, and especially if you're not using the rest of the tree, then this particular toggle, the magnetic aim, is a really good a good way to utilize any debris that you are not using with any of the other powers. Right, and then the spike impale was the last one. So overall, a very interesting toolbox for him. Obviously, some cool VFX, and oh, I totally forgot the ultimate. So I mentioned earlier that I am personally not a really big fan of the ultimate. I'm going to head to Avengers Tower and then head back so that I can reset the dummies. Hopefully, it doesn't DC me. But there we go. But regardless, the ultimate itself, I think it was Michael Mayhem who said that it's not completely done yet, and part of the issue with it that I don't like. First off, it doesn't do a lot of damage. It's very low damage for an ultimate power, and obviously that's going to be tuned. And then the other major issue that I have is that it doesn't feel like an ultimate. It doesn't feel very powerful. It doesn't feel nearly as strong as I think that it's supposed to, especially with somebody like Magneto, because we get the signature ability, which is the I can't remember what it's called now, but the power where he levitates up and he has all of the debris flying around him that we always hate to fight against. But that's his signature power. That is not his. Oh, it didn't reset. Of course it didn't. Take that, dummy. All right. Well, regardless, I'm going to go ahead and do it on these poor little fellows right here. Then. So the idea with the ultimate is that he just summons in or rather, he drags in a sentinel and then just drops it down, and that's it. And you can use the individual pieces and you can throw them, but they don't do a lot of damage. But that's it. That is the entirety of his ultimate. It's right now it's kind of lame. I really don't like it, and I mean with his signature, the Storm of Steel. I mean, now again, it might be just because this is just how it is. This is how it is right now. Oh, I'm going to toggle this on so I can see how cool it can go. It might be just because right now that's simply how he functions, but I really do not like it. I do not like the ultimate. I hope that it gets fixed very quickly because I think it is very desperately needed. Now, one thing to think about here is which of the two to use because we do have. I think we've got two basic attacks. We've got the distortion field, and then we've got the scrap shot. I'm just looking to see if there are any others. That's all I'm doing. But the scrap shot is nice because it has the little. It has the spread. It does potentially give you more debris. Whereas this one just gives you the straight up picking up of the debris. So we're going to go with scrap shot for now, and then the storm of steel I'm going to pop in just because mostly because it looks really cool. And then I'm going to pretend to be Luke Cage. I will be using the shrapnel volley as well because that was a really good, solid, able to take down single enemies very quickly. And I like that. The wrecking ball is actually fairly powerful as well. I might get at least a few into that. Imprison is really good as an AOE, which is good, and also it helps with it allows you to do bleeding stacks, which is always good to be able to have. What else? That's at least good to start. But we need more stuff. We need more. One of the issues I really have with Magneto, at least right now, is that he doesn't have a lot of ability with regard to defense and regeneration. He has the projectile deflection, mostly due to magnetic barrier, but that's pretty much it. And it really worries me because there's just not much going on with at least in that sense. So I'm a little bit scared that it's going to be pretty rough at least initially, but we'll see. All right, so I'm really excited. I'm going to hop into what's it called? The what is it? What is it? What is it, Cinder? The Red Skull. That's what it was. Because we just got the new Red Skull. The Red Skull one shot, which I'm really excited about, and the premise behind it is that the Red Skull is coming back because in the game right now, Mandarin is in control of Hydra, and obviously previously Red Skull is supposed to be in control of Hydra. So the idea behind the one shot is that Red Skull is coming back to retake control of Hydra from him. So I think we've got pretty much everything here. What else do we need? Am I using that? I am using that. So we need this. Actually, we'll put that here, and then we'll put this right here. And I think that's everything. Now I'm not using any of these debris spending powers, so I'm gonna just leave. I'm just gonna leave the magnetic aim toggled on because that way it'll just spend my debris points as I get them. I do have. Do I have anything that use it? I don't think I do. We do have some of them that use the do additional damage for debris, like here with magnetic eruption. But I am not going to be using any of those, at least for now, for this particular build. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the one shot here, the March to Axis, and we'll see how we do. I'll probably get disconnected, but no worries. I'll come right back. Okay. Or we won't get disconnected, and we'll just jump right in. Okay. So incidentally, I have not done this yet, so I'm going to go ahead and just read through some of this stuff very briefly. So we need to talk to Agent Wu. All right. Let's see what we got. Oh, whoops. I got to switch this back. And I forgot to put my movement power as number 1. Much better. Alright, what do we got? Climb the ladder. Ah! Now, if for those of you who either weren't here or didn't see for whatever reason, obviously I am using Magneto in the test center here. But one thing to note is that the gear that I have is actually the testing gear. You can see I've got all grays for my slots 1 through 5, but the medallion is actually the testing medallion. So I've got reasonable DPS at least, and it also includes defense and all that kind of stuff as well. So I'm glad to see people in the chat too, and also feel free to ask any questions, or if you have any particular requests for anything that you want to see, then please let me know. I did put PowerPoints into each one of his abilities when I was just going through them earlier. So if you want to see something specific, just let me know. Incidentally, here's his signature. Oh, they didn't show the VFX for it. Bug. Whoa, that's a lot of bad guys. Oh, you're fine. Stop crying. Alright. Woo! No, we're dead! We'll just skip past these guys for now. And like I said, I think that this is an inherent problem that that Magneto has, is he really does not have a lot of defensive capabilities. He has tons of really solid offense, but when it comes to defense, he really drops the ball. He has projectile deflection with the magnetic barrier, but the problem is it doesn't really do a whole lot, and it has a huge cooldown. It's really, really bad, and so you can only really use it if you're essentially completely surrounded by bad guys. But he doesn't have any health or spirit regen passives. He doesn't have any really good defense or crit passives. The only one he's really got is Indomitable, sorry. But that's crit hit and crit damage, and that's it. It really doesn't help a great deal for a lot of stuff, unfortunately. But you can throw cars at people like Luke Cage. But yes, Luke Cage did it first, and he probably did it better. Alright. I assume that here is... Ah! That is really good single target DPS, or at least decent. This the shrapnel volley, solid. There we go. We got the VFX on the signature. So it is the dreaded attack that we always see whenever we're fighting him. So it's about time. All right, 2 Hydra commanders on the outer perimeter. Okay, so we will go after the 2 Hydra commanders on the outer perimeter. I'll throw a car at them. Whoa, what was that? I did see the big giant red target, but it was right before he killed me. I throw a car at you. Ah, man, he is squishy. Okay. Alright, there's that. Incidentally, a couple of other minor things that are on the test center as well. We do have this thing right here in the quest tracker now. It says location, where it is, whether it's the story or whatever it happens to be. So just to show you, I'll go ahead and re-roll real quick to see what else we get. So see, now we got location, story, etc., etc. I won't bog it down with that because you all know what I'm talking about. Incidentally, very, very helpful, especially for newer players. And also for newer players, we've got the ability to test all of the starter heroes as well. Does this not work? There's supposed to be a door of some sort. Maybe I gotta push a button. Huh. I see the big giant Hydra thing. Uh-oh. Ah, acquire the other access code. Duh. Oh, see, I thought that you had to go all the way down there. See, my stupidity is the gain for you all, because now you're going to know when this actually hits live. You're going to be like, yeah, I totally know how to do that. I saw some idiot try. He had no clue what was going on. Leave him alone! Leave Lieutenant Rowe alone! Sorry, I won't do that again, I promise. Alright. Oh, Lieutenant Rowe's a bad guy. Fine, I'll take out Lieutenant Rowe myself. Alright, now that we've got the access codes, now we can go in the big giant scary door. I am going there ASAP. No worries. Incidentally, my laptop is about to die, which is where I'm watching who is in the chat rather than actually watching the chat. I have the chat open on my desktop here, but I cannot easily see who is here, unfortunately. Alright. Thanks for the codes. I'll get cracking. Ah, we have Madam Hydra. Obviously, of course we have Madam Hydra. Why wouldn't we? But, incidentally, this is very important because this is the first time that we see her in a terminal or some kind of relatively easily repeatable setting. Normally, whenever we see her, it's just in the context of the story and stuff like that, which makes it very, very difficult to, for example, farm the Madam Hydra medallion. Oh, man. So squishy! Why are you so squishy? This is ridiculous. He is tough. He is very difficult to play, and it might be because, since I don't have gear, like, at all, it might be because of that, simply because if I had all the uniques and stuff, then it would be much better. But still, that doesn't change the fact that he has no passives that support any sort of regeneration or anything else for that matter. And unfortunately, in the test center, you don't get anything along the lines of like, here are all of your uniques. Have fun, because that would be very helpful. Incidentally, it is kind of cool that we get Coulson to help out here. Stop it! Leave him alone! Ow! 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 Ah! Gah! Maybe I should go and farm a little bit. The problem is that would be boring. So, incidentally, for those of you who have not played or seen the test center, this is how we get all of the stuff to test. It's actually in the store, and you got all the stuff. Like here's the box that has all the stuff for testing, and then we've got the actual recipes to increase the uniques to 66 and 69, which is kind of cool. Hooray! We can go inside now. Excuse me. It's okay. James Wu is fine. Oh, jeez! Unwelcome surprise. I love being able to cut off the random quibs that everybody says. We serve none but the... He's definitely fun. I'm having a really, really good time playing Magneto, without a doubt. So that's certainly a positive. Obviously, he does certainly need some tuning. I hope we can get some kind of regeneration capability. I don't know how much people have been complaining about it. I obviously I don't know his uniques or anything like that, so I can't really say much to that effect. Maybe the uniques is where he gets all of his health regen and all that kind of stuff. But regardless, right now, just through powers, not a chance. Alright. I do really like the voice acting, though. I think that's really neat. One thing that's kind of sad about the test center is that since it's normally really not very populated, you can't see a lot of like the quibs and interaction with the other characters because there just aren't a lot of them. Oh, the Hulkbuster prototype. That's pretty sweet. That's cool to see. I don't have it ready. Eat car! Ouch. Jeez. I really gotta get some items or something. Ha! So the squishy! His name is Magneto, but I shall call him Squishy, and he shall be mine, and he shall be my Squishy. That thing didn't work! Boo! I used the magnetic shield thing, and it did jack squat. I'm just saying.
Savor your last moments while you can. You may wish to close your eyes for this.
Man, it's doing nothing. It is in prison. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Really? He was like a foot away. Come on. What? I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't have a costume core, but I'm okay. Did he heal? It seems like he healed. Eat car! And signature. Oh, God, he will not die. This is insane. I haven't even seen any gear drop, much less actual equipable gear. Woo! Car. Or maybe my build just isn't very efficient. I thought it was. I thought it made sense, but maybe it doesn't. Jeez! That is not pleasant. Oh, we're so close, though. I do apologize for this. I've got my signature back, though, so now I can just take him out, or should be able to. There we go. Okay. Yes, hack into the server. Good job. Locate the signal disruptor. That's going to be confusing, incidentally, with the guys that just dropped down, because they look exactly like the guys that that Black Widow drops down during. Is it her signature now? I believe. All right, signal disruptor. If you were a signal disruptor, where would you be? I don't have a clue. I don't even know what it looks like. I'm just guessing. Ah! Fire mech, that's kind of cool. Got new enemies, always good to see. Minigunner, I probably shouldn't have done that, but whatever. Oh, that was a good guy. Oh, whew. That's why they look like the people that Black Widow calls down. Oh, great! Another Hulkbuster prototype. Just what I always wanted. So here, look, this ultimate is useless. Can't even tell I used an ultimate. So sad. Ouch! Fine, I'm staying away from you. No, I don't want to go back and fight the Hulkbuster. I'm good without it, thank you. Is the Hulkbuster guarding the signal disruptor? Is that the idea here? Because if it is, I'm going to be really mad. Oh, jeez. I don't want to fight another one of these. I really don't. Ouch. Oh, somebody said something in chat. I am having a very rough time. Yes. And I think it's mostly just because of the gear thing. If I had good gear, then I would be okay. I'm in the standard DPS gear, but not the which means that I have no survivability. I'm just doing the DBS thing, so it's not super surprising. Here's what we'll do. So that's kind of cool too. And you can log out as opposed to just quit. Ah, move. All right. Let's swap out my things here. I'm okay with purples at this point. Just give me something, please. Thank you. Alright, let's go find some trash. And it's frustrating because I can't even go into something like X Defense or HoloSim to try to get stuff. I don't even know if these guys haven't even been dropping gear. I haven't even vaporized anything. Except I think there was like a pair of boots a while ago, a green that I had. But, jeez, it's ridiculous. But either way, it looks really cool. And that's what really matters, right? And I've only got a minute left until something happens. And I have no clue where to look! Let's go back this way. Maybe up here? Supposed to find something called a signal disruptor. Oh, jeez. Hi, bad guys. This is definitely an important room, but it's not so helpful right now. And see, they don't even drop purples. This is terrible. I've got stuff going. Man, this is bad. This is why we don't do one-shots by ourselves. Just as a general rule. Oh, come on, signal disruptor. I have to take down that stupid mech, don't I? That Hulkbuster. I know I do. And I'm almost out of time. Well, at the very least, you get to see what happens if you run out of time. So that's always fun. Eat car. Incidentally, I wonder where he gets those cars from. Of course, where does Luke Cage get his? Prepare for extraction. Mission failure. Extraction. Alright, so I'm going to head into Midtown. Maybe ICP would be better. Just so I can try to get some better gear. Wah! Yeah, I'm just going to leave. Goodbye. Ah, Madam Hydra's still here. Ah! Help! Just body slide? I can. Oh, that was painful. That was very painful. Oh, man. And I've been disconnected. Just to add insult to injury, why don't you? Oh, great and powerful test center. Okay. See, look at all these people. Hey, everybody, join me in ICP, please. Should I just buy? It's like the one time that I buy gear. Sure, why not? Alright, here, let me sell all this junk. Here, have a Crimson Crystal and an Advanced Metasensory Array and a Spider Ham. Okay. And sure, we'll take that. Because why not? Just to give me something, please. Alright, so I need slot 1. Oh, that's all slot 1. Boo! I need slot everything else. Alright. Okay. Get these at least. Does it seriously? It has less damage rating than the gray ones. That's a little bit depressing. Alright, ICP. Here we go. Hop in here. At the very least, this will be a bit easier to see about trash mobs for sure. So that's something. And then I could still hop back into what's it called? The one shot later. Excuse me. Oh man, these guys. Green. That's it. I know I've got any hero uniques, but it won't do a whole lot of good for Magneto here. But I might not have much of a choice at this point. Because I certainly can't take down 6 bosses by myself. That's not going to happen. Now let's see what stuff we got over here. Excuse me. Spider-Man. No. Physical and mental, that does nothing. The umbrella. Maybe. Oh, that's why. Why are these bad guys shooting at me? Go away. That was very rude of them. Gimme. Okay. Physical and mental. No. There we go. Sure. Give me the mechanical arms of Dr. Octopus. Cannot equip this item in that slot. Why not? That's what slot it's for. Oh, that's why. There we go. And stuff is slot 2. It's ridiculous. Physical, that does me no good. Okay, fine. We'll go with the magnetic field generator because Magneto. And give me something else. Sure, we'll take the 60 version of the this. Take the, yes, we will take the Cerebro remote interface. And come on, give me something. Nah. Well, this will at least give me some health, so that might be helpful. And then let's get him a ring of some sort. Sure, why not? Have that one. Okay, jeez. I apologize for that. At least we're better off now. I didn't think the gearing thing would be such a big deal. And I got disconnected. So help me, I will complete this.
Don't make me regret this conversation.
But now I know what I need to do. Climb up the ladder. Bad guys. Take that, bad guys. Ah, much better. And like I said, now you all know what you need to do. At least for this story. Okay. Why didn't I get the little things for the... Huh, weird. I remember where the codes are, so we can go. Gotta get the codes to open the door. But the little code party is not here for some reason. Well, that's not good. Got a bit of a glitch wherein we don't see where the commanders are. I'm supposed to find 2 commanders to get the codes, but the little arrows didn't show up for whatever reason.
Be silent.
Remember the other one was over here. There we go. There's one.
Must be healed if I am to keep going.
I love that attack.
So be it.
Pew, pew, pew. Yes, it is a much, much bigger difference, and I am very, very happy.
You will pay.
You never know how much difference gear makes until you don't have gear anymore. I say right as I die. But regardless, far, far better than it was. So I will take it. I gotta try to find this other guy blindly now, which is pretty frustrating. Oh, that's gonna be an interesting standoff. It is kind of cool because we've got the Mandarin Hydra versus the Red Skull Hydra fighting out here essentially, and we're just sort of caught in the middle trying to fix it all. Ah, whew, that was weird and scary.
I won't be able to survive much longer.
Oh, you're fine. Quit whining. There we go. Okay. What I really need is a solid costume core, like with the LOH. That's what I could really use right now. Did I put that on? I didn't. Not spending my debris.
Death to the enemies of Hydra.
Where's Agent Coulson? He's supposed to be helping me. Worthless ultimate! All I'm seeing is green drops. It's a really good thing that I had I've got a whole bunch of random any hero uniques. Otherwise I would have been in big trouble. Oh, so much easier though. Yay, sending Coulson! Get him, Coulson! That's what I like to see.
Savor your last moments while you can.
Hail, immortal Hydra.
Redcon device.
Lead with conviction.
Of course.
More importantly, a fist. You may wish to close your eyes for this.
Alright. Now we are much, much better off. I'll be able to take down those stupid things. Oh, one thing that I forgot about, since we're not necessarily on a break, but sort of, is with the release of Magneto, we also have the release of the mutation section for the Omega. And for this particular thing, the all it is essentially abilities that are named after the characters they represent. So we've got the one I can think of immediately is Blob. I know that makes me seem like a fatty, but either way, so like for Blob, you lose dodge rating, but you get health and defense and tenacity because he's Blob and that's what he does. The one really major one that I know people are going to want is probably Dazzler because you reduce enemy move speed and you just straight up increase your base damage by 10%, which is amazing. And then the other really huge one is Apocalypse, where you get +5 to every single attribute, which is just crazy, crazy, absolutely crazy. But either way, really, really cool. I got a couple of text messages. Take a look real quick. Nothing important. Alright. So I still need to find this signal disruptor thing, but they don't really help me with regard to telling me what it is. Like what it actually looks like, what I'm supposed to be looking for. Ooh, the Omega Drive. Go away.
Fate smiles upon me this day.
Range power. Yay! I do use range powers. Alright. I have no clue. So yes, the Apocalypse and Dazzler do both cost a great deal of points. Apocalypse, I believe, is 4,000. Yes, 4,000. And Dazzler is 400 for the first rank. I don't know how much higher you can do it. Obviously, right now with Apocalypse, you can only get one rank because we have the cap of 7,500. Here's my friend.
So be it.
It's amazing. I have survivability, sort of. Eat car. Yes, 4,000. It's crazy. But you got to think. I mean, you're getting +5 for every single attribute. It's obviously a big trade-off, but you get some pretty massive benefits from it. I don't know if it'll be worthwhile. I think that there's probably better ways to spend 4,000 Omega points, but who knows?
Assault team deployed.
Okay. Alright, so now I still have to try to find this stupid signal disruptor thing before the full lockdown commences again and I miss out. And of course now, there we go. I was just going to say my map bugged out on me. But now it's okay. I don't see anything that indicates I can interact with it. Here's where the other Hulkbuster is.
Nothing will stand in my way.
At the very least, this is a good place to start looking. Now that I can actually kill the stupid thing. Sorry, defeat.
You will pay. Surrender to me. You are no match for the master of magnetism.
Actually, he kind of is. He's pretty much holding his own. I see other stuff in the chat. I'll take a look after I take out this guy. Alright, what we got? More precise. Yes, yeah. As far as the apocalypse, it would be nice. I mean, there are a bunch of different abilities that increase your. Oh, cool! The countdown stopped. There's a bunch of abilities that increase your attributes with regard to like essentially just doing one at a time, but then it also adds something else typically. And I mean, typically those are like what, like 1,000 or so, somewhere around there. Let me see here. No, there's a couple in. See, I always forget the ones that I know about. I think it's augmentation. There it is, the soldier serum. So there, see, 200 straight up for one strength. So I mean, if it stayed at that price, I don't think it does. But if it stayed there, then you'd be paying effectively 1,000 to get the 5 ranks of strength, versus 4,000 to get not only the 5 ranks of strength, but 5 ranks of everything else as well. Um, I know each attribute has at least one omega node that increases the rank. But obviously, one of the biggest issues is that not every hero utilizes the attributes in the same manner, or not necessarily in the same manner, but to the same extent. More different heroes utilize different ones more effectively and more efficiently, and just more in general. But either way, the mutation one has some really cool stuff. I definitely like it. Um, I think it's really cool that it's more associated with the characters now, and I don't know if the idea is that you're giving yourself mutations, because that doesn't seem like a great idea. If any of you saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, then you know what I'm talking about. It's just not smart. Just saying. Yeah, yeah. Hulk definitely does not need 5 intelligence. Maybe if we ever get a gray Hulk costume, then maybe we can go with that. But yeah, right now, no. I mean, the increase to experience is kind of nice, but just not necessary. Oh yeah, yeah. Maybe he does need it, but let's see. Where is? So the timer stopped. I got not one but 2 server nodes or server clusters taken down. Where have I not explored yet? I've explored like the entire thing. This is very strange. I'm not certain where to go. I don't know if this is bugged or if I just can't see it. Could be both. Trying to look to try to find these clusters. I assume that it looks the same as these, where it's the long rack of servers. And this is obviously where I need to go later, but that certainly doesn't do me any good right now. Can't do anything with those. Dang, where is this? Where is this little thing? It's probably in some lame little place. One thing I'm not certain of either is if this is randomized. You know, like even with the vibranium mines, where the caches of vibranium are randomized with their. Why aren't you guys moving? You're supposed to be helping me. I hate you all. You're all worthless. There we go. There's a place I haven't explored yet. So that's a plus at least. I can find something. Ah, that looks like something I could have interacted with. I don't know where to go. I see like there's a couple of little corners that I haven't explored. That's pretty much it. It's very unfortunate. was hoping... Well, I am sorry that this isn't working, but unfortunately, there's not really much I can do for it. And obviously the quest log doesn't really help me too much. Let's head back outside. We'll see if there's anything over there. But I don't know. That looked like some. It's just a wall. It's a well-lit wall. Let's head back. Hmm. And of course, no indicators, because that would make it too easy. This looks like maybe it's something. Nope. I would assume that this is all inside the giant compound. All of these things that I am supposed to find. But I did not see anything. I don't know if anybody watching saw anything. I'm sure that we're down a few users. But I did not see what this signal disruptor was. Just saw the two things that the Hulkbusters were guarding. Set straight down here. Well, that's a lot of bad guys. I got another text. This is very disheartening.
Nothing will stand in my way.
Yeah, if you're playing right now too, it's not surprising that you're having some trouble trying to keep track. But I don't see it. I don't see nothing. So if I can't find it on this run, then I'll just go ahead and stop here, because these are the two major things that are in the test center here are Magneto and the Hydra base here for Red Skull. But then I'll go over a couple of the other little things, like I noticed a couple of UI changes as well. Yeah. The last little round here. Still don't see it. I assume that these are destructible. Yeah, those are destructible. Which means that you can't interact with them because shrapnel is smart enough to realize if it can destroy something or not. And if you can't destroy it, that means that it's important. It's my wrecking ball. Go wrecking balls! Pew, pew, pew. Here's this one. Let's go back up here, see if this changed. Nope, that's still closed. Which obviously doesn't do me any good.
Patience. All in due time.
Dang. This is very disheartening. But that's what you get when you play on Test Center. Don't know if anything works right. Yeah. Bummer. Maybe I just got unlucky. Or maybe both of us did, rather. Myself and Lone Wolf here. I do feel a little bit better that I'm not the only one who can find it though. Makes me feel like I'm less incompetent. Hmm. Yeah, nothing. I'll just check this upper portion real quick. And he was just standing up there to look cool. These are destructible, I believe. And this is... Oh well. Body slide back. And fail. So I'll do just a couple of more very small things that I noticed personally. The first one with the UI I mentioned earlier. Now with the quest trackers for the legendary quests, it says the exact location for that particular quest. So in this case, excuse me, it says that it's in the story, and whenever you re-roll, if it's different, then obviously it changes. So that'll be a big help moving forward with regard to whether or not we have the especially with the terminals versus the story. It's going to be a really big help. But other than that, the costume for Magneto is not here yet. The black one, but I am very excited to see that. So anxiously awaiting it. And just for fun, I'm gonna get a couple of the uncanny fortune cards here. I'll drop these. See if I get lucky. Yes. Yay! Sad I can't buy the giant bundle with my 1G each. Alright, let's see what we got. Yay, a candy bar! Oh, Odin Bounty, that's actually pretty sweet. I think that's a rare. Psh! The RNG hates me, obviously. Not that it's very surprising, but either way, that's it for me. I hope. Why is Adam Warlock out here? Weird. Um, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed looking over Magneto with me. I hope that you liked taking a look at the one shot, even though we couldn't really complete anything with it. But have a great time. Be aware though, and remember that all of this stuff is subject to change. None of this is written in stone by any means. And for a lot of that, or for some of it at least, I'm grateful. But regardless, thank you very much again for watching. And the last thing that I'll show you is when you hit your escape here, when you have this and you say quit, then it actually shows you now what you're going to get tomorrow. It says what the login reward is going to be, and it tells you what essentially what one of the shared quests is going to be. So it's a pretty cool little thing that you get here. It's pretty nice. So with that, thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked it. I will still be in the chat if you guys want to stick around and talk about it. And I'm going to be posting this video to my YouTube channel as well, and highlight just the portion with Magneto's powers. So thanks again, and I will see you later. Mm-hmm.